Hey everybody, I am coming making this video message and I want to talk to you about certain people who have an identity crisis. The reason why I'm making this video is because when you forget who you are or you never knew who you were and you are confused about what your role is in the life that God gave you, you will stick your hands in a lot of things that is really not a part of who you are. This is what makes up your identity. People who has lost sight or they don't know or understand what their role is, you will even see these types of people pretend to be something that they're not. They will get involved in things that they really don't have interest in. They will do certain things that they really don't care to do, and it's more so performative, or they will confuse what they've been through and they will identify with what they've been through. This is some of the things that makes up and starts a spiral of someone being in an identity crisis. One of the other biggest reasons why a lot of people don't really know who they are and they go through this crisis is because they listen to what other people say about them. A lot of people will always constantly remind you of what you came from. They will talk about what they heard about you. They will talk about what they think about you. People will use against you flaws and faults that you have or even your background. And because of what a lot of people will begin to say about you, then people start to develop an identity crisis. I want you all to know today that if you are currently involved in anything that you know from the heart you really don't want to be involved in, but you're doing it because you believe in your mind that is your identity, I want you to now search yourself and begin to go to the Father to get the clarity of who you are and what role you are supposed to be playing in this life the Father blessed you with. Sometimes on our journey, as we are meeting different people, we go and experience different things, and even when we receive deliverance from certain things that has gotten in our spirits over time, sometimes we will confuse those things and we will really believe that that is who we or what we identify with. And so if you see certain people, this is a prime example of someone who may be battling with an identity crisis. When you see someone that is older, maybe they are in their early to mid or even late 50s, early to mid, late 60s, and you begin to see certain people dressing like they are much younger than what they really are, or you start to see people hang around a lot of younger people or people who are not even doing or going in a direction that their life is going in. For instance, somebody can be a man or woman of God and they live a very quiet, peaceful life, but when they don't know what their identity is, they will start to hang with people who are maybe in their early to mid 20s or early 30s, even early 40s, and they will do the things that they have never done. They may start smoking. They may start drinking. They may start clubbing. They may start partying. That's just one minor example. It can go a lot deeper because some people will even go and purchase cars that they never would before they started struggling with who they were and the role that they are supposed to be playing in their life. Some people will go and move to a different area. There are even individuals out here who will date a certain type of person. This is why you see a lot of women, they'll date the bad boy. They will have a reputation of being a good church girl, or a very highly educated woman or a business owner, as a man or as a woman, but they will go out and date the rebel. They will go out and date the convicted felon. They will go and date the drug dealer. They will go out and date the woman who is known to be promiscuous, or she's always in the streets and hanging with her friends. These are examples of people who are in the midst of an identity crisis. And I want you all to know that people who are in the house of God, they too can struggle with this. This is why sometimes when you see a new member join a ministry, people will embrace them and bring them in, and for a little while they will be themselves. But over time, they will start to connect with different people in groups and in cliques, and they will start to act and even take on the spirit of that person or those people in the group or in the clique. And you will be like, oh wow, this person is now totally unrecognizable. They were not even conducting themselves like this when they first came in. Now they're acting totally different. Now they're acting like a heathen. Yes, there are people in the house of God that still have heathen behavior because they are not either all the way delivered, or they are wanting to remain being a carnal Christian. But I want you all to know that your identity, it does indeed come from the Lord. But if you are now questioning everything about your character, you are finding yourself doing things that are out of your character. You are finding yourself doing things and becoming a part of something that you've never been a part of. You're kind of going backwards in a stage of having the mind of a teenager, or having the mind that you had when you were in your 20s, and now you're well within your 40s, 50s, or 60s. Could it simply be that you, ma'am or sir, are having an identity crisis? You will even see this manifest in people physically, where you see their dress code change. Like I said earlier, some older people who forgot what their role is and what their purpose is in life, and they don't know what their true identity is, they will start to dress like they're a teenager again. They will start to dress like they're in their early 20s again. They will start to wear the big baggy clothes. They will start to go and purchase a bunch of gym shoes. Now, you all will think that this sounds maybe off or it sounds crazy, but I am telling you, you will be able to see this in certain people who has truly lost sight, or they've never known what their purpose is and what their identity is. People of God, your relationship is not supposed to be what your true and full identity is. Your job, or even your particular talent and skill, cannot be what your full essence and your full identity is. Who we are and what our purpose is, it does come from the Lord. But when God places your appropriate role and your identity, you're not confused about it. You're not confused about it. You are not questioning why you are here. You are not really involved in all these other different things, because you just don't know what you're supposed to be doing. You've got to know. This is what I really want you all to know and understand. If you don't understand anything else, God is not the author of confusion. When you are confused about the role that you are supposed to be in, and when you have lost sight of who you are as a man or as a woman, when you go out here and your hands are in a bunch of different things, and you know in the core of your heart and soul that you really are not truly interested in those things, and you are finding yourself starting projects and not finishing them, or you are doing other things that you normally wouldn't do because you're trying to find yourself or you're trying to find your way, and it's making you unrecognizable to family and friends. It's changing your temperament, it's changing your attitude. Your spirit is more nasty now. You're real short-tempered with people. You have an attitude now. Sometimes it could just be that you are struggling with your identity. People will be confused about really who they are. You will run into people that even start to question their sexuality. They will start to question, who am I? Am I supposed to be dealing with somebody in the same sex, or I think it's okay for me to branch out and go to that? You'll see people, they'll be married for 10 and 15 and 20 and 30 years to the opposite sex, and out of nowhere they will divorce that person and go and get married to the same sex or be dating the same sex. This is another example of someone that is struggling with an identity crisis. Now listen, I know some of you all will say, no, well, if somebody got up and they did that, it's just that that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to be on the other end of the fence. No, but if you talk to certain people, they will tell you they never thought about being with the same sex in their life at all. They never had that type of thought. They never had those types of feelings. But out of the blue, they felt like because they were failing in their marriage or their relationships with the opposite sex, that their identity is to go on the other side. And they feel like, okay, they're complete now. These are classic examples of someone that is struggling with their identity. And you have to find it in the Lord. This is why you also will see people take on a role and they will act as though they were born to be a leader. They were born to be in a position of authority. And so if they take that on, they will come to you real militant, really aggressive. They will be very loud and really angry at what it is they believe in, or what it is they're supposed to be fighting for, or what it is they're supposed to be trying to convince other people to come into agreement with. It could be something political. It could be something economical. It could be something spiritual, but they are very militant when it comes to that particular thing that they are locking in, and it comes out of nowhere. And you may say, this person is well into their 50s, this person is well into their 60s. Why now? Why now has this woman or this man that is my friend or my church member or my family member, why now are they so adamant about fighting for this particular cause? Why now are they dating this type of person when initially all of my life of knowing them, or all of my life and hanging with this individual, they've never talked about this. They've never showed any interest in this particular thing that they are a part of. They will join certain communities, join certain groups, do all these different types of things because they have what you call an identity crisis. Before I end this message, I just want to let you all know, the bottom line is that you have to really, really dig into God and spend time with the Lord. And you have to get back to baseline in asking the Father what your true and real role is. Don't go out here and just start latching on to different people and latching on to different things because you don't really know right now at this moment or in this season what you're supposed to be doing. As you continue to walk with the Lord, as you continue to grow in the Lord, as God continues to burn out and even iron out certain things that are not like Him, things that are not holy, things that are demonic, things that were developed in your life from your trauma, from your heartbreak, from your disappointment, from you feeling like you are a failure. All of the things that has gotten you down and kept you depressed and kept you discouraged and kept you confused. As you continue to dive into the Word of God and building your one-on-one relationship with the Father, you will learn what your identity is. You will learn. But until you find that out, you need to stay put. You need to stay put, because if you start to dabble in different things, you are now opening yourself up to not only sin, but you are opening yourself up for the enemy to be able to attack you and cause a number of different levels of destruction in your life, because you're all over the place. Someone with an identity crisis, even in their conversations as you talk to them, they're all over the place. They're talking about 6 and 7 different things at one time. They start to take on different personalities. And see, that is when you begin to see a full manifestation of a spirit. When you see these different personalities, one minute they are militant. They're fighting for a cause politically. The next minute they are hanging with a particular individual or certain calibers of people that is totally the polar opposite of who they are. And you're looking at them like, yeah, that's weird. They've never been like this. That is someone going through an identity crisis. Get back to baseline, guys, and find out who it is God created you to be, and let Him tell you, let Him drop in your spirit, even through a dream, or Him sending someone to confirm who you are and what your role is in this life that He has blessed you to live. That is the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have taken offense to anything I spoke about in this video, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned, because I know you will forgive me in the morning.